You don't hunt, do you? Good morning, Snoop.
Okay, I'm going to be making a few phone calls in a few minutes. So, before the rest of my day is completely consumed, let me go ahead and read some notes. Okay, this is going to be, what is this? Cost of living. Cost of living. This is here in the US, 2022. Alright. Now I'm just going to read this thing off because yeah, my mind's all over the place. So, with just coping with all the unknowns, that hopefully by the end of the day, most of them will be knowns. But where that gets me, I have no idea. So let me just read off some notes I put together. Alright, again, this is cost of living here in the US. Find the cheapest storage in the US. Storage in Puerto Rico is expensive. Traveling with lots of luggage is always a pain and always expensive. Puerto Rico, you don't need a visa, you don't need a work permit. Hostels aren't cheap, but they're cheaper than in the US. Getting there, as long as you stay away from Spirit and Frontier, you should be okay. Sticking with JetBlue is probably a good idea. Not cheap with lots of luggage, but it is reasonable. And of course, without luggage, it's very cheap. Okay, because yeah, Spirit and Frontier, if you go there with any baggage whatsoever, they'll blow you out of their water with all their extra charges. Alright. Yeah, then you might as well have gone for the most expensive regular airline thing because that's what the price is going to end up being. As a matter of fact, it's usually more expensive than the most expensive airline ticket in any other airline. But whatever. Okay. Transportation. Okay. This is me thinking about once you already have a job and yeah. Alright, transportation. 9-bot kick scooter. I mentioned this in a previous video. I don't know how many weeks ago or days ago or whatever. Again, 9-bolt kick scooter E22. Patented anti-skid tubeless tires. And for anybody that's watched any previous videos, you know my issues with tires that, yeah, with tires. Alright. Extended battery. With an external battery pack, 9-bot kick scooter E22 can now take you even farther with a maximum range of 27 miles and a speed of 15.5 miles per hour. Note, the data comes from 9-bot laboratory testing. The actual range may be affected by factors such as temperature, terrain, and the rider. And I got this thing right off their website, www.segway.com, 9-bot kick scooter E22. I'll put that link up there in the description thing. Cheap but reliable motorcycle. This is me knowing that, because if I had tried to get to work in Houston with this 9-bot thing, I probably would have been run over. I mean, it's just, yeah, which I almost got run over with the bicycle, so yeah. But anyway, if that's not going to do it for you because it's either too far or the traffic's too dangerous, you may be forced to get like a motorcycle kind of thing. It's not going to be so expensive as far as gas is concerned, and it's obviously going to be cheaper than buying a car. Okay, so the price range, cheap but reliable motorcycle, you're going to be spending at least $5,000. I mean, that's the impression I got, just so you know. With any luck, you can just use the public transportation and this 9-bot kick scooter, but yeah, you know how that goes. When it's snowing or there's ice on the ground, Uber. You just have to Uber the thing. I mean, what else are you gonna do? Okay. Question. Oh well, I'll leave that out for now. Job search. If you're not able to secure access to any kind of social service that makes a decent job search, let alone sustaining any kind of employment you're able to acquire possible, in other words, if you can't maintain a job while accessing social services in your community, yeah, that's definitely problematic. Okay, so if you're not able to secure access to any kind of social service that makes a decent job search or sustaining any kind of employment you're able to acquire possible, not only do you have to secure the cheapest storage you can find, you now need to find the cheapest campground with Wi-Fi. Take all this as just FYI. Obviously, if that's way beyond anything you're capable of dealing with, then stick with cheap hotels, but I'm just saying. I'm just throwing this out there. Okay. Again, this is a nationwide search. And don't expect that these things will be located within the same regions. If you find that affordable storage is on one coast and affordable campgrounds are on the other coast, so be it. If possible, don't throw down for a hotel room until you're finalizing the terms of your new job. Again, this is just FYI. Use whatever's useful to you, kick the rest to the curb. This is like before moving underneath a bridge tactics, okay? This is not for just, let me just do a cursory examination of my options kind of thing. So you may not even want to think about that for now. I'm just saying, this exists in the universe. So don't get all panicky with if things don't fall into place exactly the way you had planned it, you're stuck with having to move underneath the bridge. No. So yeah, these are extreme options, but this is just to let you know they do exist. All right, that's all this is. Again, use whatever's useful to you, kick everything else to the curb. Okay, I did need to bring this up, especially, well, just, yeah, I do need to bring things like this up. The black-white thing, all right, the racial problems, the social upheavals we're dealing with now. Okay, so the black-white thing. If you're white or Latin, especially Latin, and a good percentage of the social workers you come into contact with seem to be somewhat vicious, try to tough it out. Just try to deal with it the best you can, all right? There's a lot of anger out there, and for good reason, so just be thoughtful of this, mindful of this, okay? Anyway, if you find you're incapable of toughing it out, okay, classify your situation as not being able to secure access to social services and proceed accordingly. In other words, like I said before, if you're not able to secure access to any kind of social services that makes a decent job search or sustaining employment possible, right? You got to find the cheapest storage, and you got to find the cheapest campground if you have to with Wi-Fi. You're always going to need Wi-Fi, people. So yeah, the campground has to have Wi-Fi. All right. Again, if you're just not there at that point and you can't even stretch your mind to that, just then stick with cheap hotels. I found that price line is probably, I don't know if it's the best hotel platform to find affordable hotels, but so far I tend to prefer it. Yeah, really, you should be able to find something under $35 a night. And cumulatively speaking, boy, that's hard to say. That is expensive because I mean, you're burning through your savings. You don't have any income. Yeah, that's still expensive. But if you just can't deal with the campground thing yet, and you just can't find any social services, adequate social services to, yeah. All right. Again, I'm just throwing this out there. And again, do not be tied down to any location. You go where the cheapest thing is, and you do your nationwide job search thing, and whatever. You make the move when you're finalizing your things, because it's gotten ridiculous. Okay. So where was I? Oh, all right. So again, the black-white thing, try to tough it out. You know. And if you can't manage that, then yeah, plan A kind of thing, right? But before doing so, you might want to consider looking into areas that you previously might not have considered. Yeah, so, well, it's like they're already not set up for the conflict kind of thing. Anyone familiar with West Side Story might understand what I'm talking about. Or, what is it? What other thing besides West Side Story? What was that thing? The that kid that the Socs and whatever, and Johnny whatever, the I can't believe I forgot the name of that thing. Anyway, just there are places where they've already the conflict is already so well developed that you probably want to avoid those places entirely. Okay? Big cities tend to be like that already. So, yeah. You may want to try, something more country, something more rural, something more suburb kind of thing, where those conflicts aren't already so well developed that it's like no escaping it. Yeah. Even if that means going into regions you never would have considered previously. I'm just saying. We're running out of, yeah. It's all over the place, in other words. Okay. While we're on the topic, I might as well give you some history there and what's going on in my own mind that this comes up. My own perceptions, just to explain them. While we're on the topic, I've come across a few documentaries that have stated openly that the status quo have long since pitted blacks against Irish in the hopes that they would destroy each other, ridding the powers that be of belligerent malcontents. Whether these documentaries have tainted my perceptions or not is impossible to say, but at this social strata, this reality seems evident. things can really get vicious. Okay? And yes, they can. Alright. Now it's almost 9 o'clock, so I'm going to have to start making phone calls and getting my day started. Okay, I wanted to throw that out there, put that out there, because again, I don't know what kind of information I'm going to be getting, and it's going to take me on a completely different path, and this is not even going to occur to me. So this was important enough to want to get that out there. Okay, it is 8:52 a.m. Okay, hold on. I know it's Monday. Hold on. October 10th, 2022. Monday morning. Here in Jackson, Mississippi. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will talk to you later. Take care.